Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Look, if the current car market is making you feel, well, totally overwhelmed, you are definitely not alone. It is crazy out there right now. Today, we're going to cut right through all that confusing dealership jargon to uncover the true financial reality of buying versus leasing. Let's just dive right in and make sense of these numbers together. $9,000. Yep, you heard that right. That is the current average yearly car payment for a new car in America. If you break that down, we're talking over $750 a month. And here's the real kicker. That doesn't even include a single drop of gas or a cent toward insurance. This sticker shock is absolutely real. But as you'll see, that monthly payment is really only a fraction of the story. So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. The true cost illusion. 2. The math behind buying. 3. The math behind leasing. 4. 3 game-changing variables. And finally, number 5, psychology and wealth hacks. All right, let's jump straight into section 1, the true cost illusion, beyond the monthly payment. You know, it's incredibly easy to walk into a dealership and just completely obsess over the sticker price or that shiny monthly payment number they slide across the desk. But measuring a vehicle's affordability that way, it's honestly pretty deceptive. To actually make the smartest financial decision, we have to look way beyond that initial sticker price. We need to use something called the true cost of ownership, or TCO. Basically, we need to calculate the total impact on your household budget. That means factoring in literally everything, from loan interest and insurance to fuel, maintenance, and of course, the biggest silent killer of them all, depreciation. Now, to anchor all this abstract math, we really need a tangible case study. So we're going to use a 2026 Toyota RAV4 Woodland Edition, priced at $39,900. I actually love this example because it starts a full 10 grand below the 2026 average new car price of $50,000. It's realistic, it's super popular, and it makes for the absolute perfect benchmark for our side-by-side comparison today. Moving on to section 2, the math behind buying a 6-year breakdown. Let's take a look at the baseline reality of buying this exact RAV4 over a standard 6-year financing term, which happens to be the average loan length right now. Okay, let's assume you've got a prime credit score giving us a 6.51% APR along with a 20% down payment. Those loan payments alone over 6 years are going to cost nearly $39,000. Then add in over $8,000 for insurance, almost $12,000 for fuel, and a bit over $7,000 for maintenance. You can really see how these everyday real-world costs just progressively stack up, right? Suddenly, our $40,000 car has ballooned into the seriously intimidating subtotal of $74,436. But hold on a second. Buying creates a physical asset, and the RAV4, it's pretty notorious for holding its value. In fact, it retains a massive 68% of its original price after 6 years. That means you could potentially sell it for $27,403. And that resale value acts as a massive financial offset against that steep subtotal we just looked at. So when you actually subtract that resale value from your total expenses, you land at $47,033. That is your true 6-year cost of ownership for buying. Just think about that for a second. Over 6 whole years of driving, factoring in literally everything, the owner essentially pays just over $7,000 extra above the initial sticker price to own this vehicle free and clear. Honestly, in the car world, that is incredibly good. Let's hit section 3, the math behind leasing, renting, depreciation. So what if you just don't want to buy? Well, when you lease, you're essentially just renting the car. You aren't buying the whole vehicle, you're really just paying for its expected depreciation, the bank's interest charge, and various dealership fees over a set period of time. To make this a fair apples-to-apples comparison over that same 6-year stretch, we're modeling 2 back-to-back 3-year leases. So you've got your money due at signing, twice, your monthly payments, and of course, the exact same fuel and insurance costs. Now, take a look at that $0 for maintenance. That is the huge, incredibly enticing benefit of leasing. You're basically always under warranty. However, when that lease is up, you hand the keys right back. There's absolutely zero resale value for you. And that brings our leasing total to a hefty $60,420. When we put these two side by side, the math is pretty undeniable. Buying comes in at just over $47,000, while continuous leasing tops $60,000. By choosing to buy and hold that RAV4 for 6 years, you're saving a massive $13,386. So, case closed, right? Buying is obviously better. Well, not quite so fast. That brings us to section 4, 3 game-changing variables. the stress test. See, right when buying seems to be the undisputed winner, we need to bring in some real-world variables that can completely flip the script on us. For example, what if you only keep the car for 3 years instead of 6? Or what if you drive way more than the average mileage allowance? And what exactly happens when interest rates bounce around? We're going to put these complex what-if scenarios to the test right now. First step, the kind of tricky 3-year scenario. If you buy the RAV4 and sell it after just 3 years, buying still saves you over $5,400. Why? Because the RAV4 holds an absurd 81% of its value over 3 years. But check out scenario B. If you buy an average car with a more standard 60% residual value, leasing actually becomes $2,900 cheaper. So if a car drops in value like a rock, you actually want to lease it and let the dealership eat that nasty depreciation loss. Next up, we have to talk about mileage. Standard leases give you around 10 to 12,000 miles a year. If you have a heavy commute and hit, say, 18,000 miles a year, those overage penalties, which usually hover around 25 cents per mile, are going to absolutely destroy the math for leasing. In our 6-year model, that extra driving tax on $9,000 in pure fees. Yikes. So if you drive a ton, stay far, far away from a lease. Oh, and real quick, while interest rate spikes can mildly affect buyers, buying generally still wins out as long as you hold on to the asset long term. Let's shift gears into section 5, psychology and wealth hacks, why your mindset matters. We've gone through the fast-paced, hard numbers, but let's be real, personal finance isn't just a spreadsheet. There's a deeply empathetic discussion we need to have here about lifestyle, behavior, and why someone might still completely rationally choose the more expensive leasing route. The truth is, there are some highly legitimate reasons to lease. If you're a business owner who can write off the payment, well, the math totally changes for you. Or if you're a realtor where projecting a highly successful image is literally a business investment, getting a new car makes perfect sense. Or maybe you just really value the ultimate peace of mind that comes with having the absolute latest safety tech and a car that's perpetually under warranty. Look, paying a premium for that level of convenience is a perfectly valid choice. I absolutely love this quote from Morgan Housel's book, The Art of Spending Money. He writes, "Everyone has different values based on their upbringing. Those values really drive how people spend money." After all that heavy math we just did, this is such a great palate cleanser. Personal finance is, well, deeply personal. Our goal today isn't to judge how you spend your money, but simply to give you the structured data so you can make those choices with your eyes wide open. But, okay, if you want the ultimate, actionable wealth hack to walk away with today from this explainer, here it is. Buy a highly reliable car that holds its value. Spend years 1 through 6 paying off that loan as aggressively as you can. Then the real magic happens in years 7 to 12, because you have 0 car payments. Drive that car into the ground and take that old $500 monthly payment and invest it straight into the market. That is exactly how you build real wealth out of a depreciating asset. So I'm going to leave you with this provocative thought to chew on before you walk into your next dealership. Are you paying for an asset, or are you really just paying for peace of mind? Just make sure your automotive spending truly aligns with your long-term financial values. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep mastering your money